They were moving screens like crazy. They were trying like everything in their playbook to try to get him to that 40th point. He couldn't.
There was multiple clear outs.
1-4 flat for Jose Alvarado. He didn't run 1-4 flat when he was in high school, I'm sure.
No.
So AD scores 55 in DC tonight. The Lakers win again. He was 55 and 17. Bobby, I have his stats for the last 10 games. He's averaging 35 points, 16 rebounds, shooting 65%. 65%. Part of the reason why he's on this hot streak is he has knocked off shooting threes and has been getting to the line, attacking, super aggressive, averaging 10 free throws a game in those 10 games. He's shooting 88% at the line. By the way, when he does shoot the three, which he's only averaging like 1.5 a game, he's shooting like 45% on those. But he's kind of morphed over his game. But more than anything, like he's just being viciously aggressive. And I've talked to some folks around the team. I've talked to some folks around AD. His back was bothering him early in the season, and it's better now. Only he knows, like, that he missed a game last week because of a calf injury. So, I mean, yeah, he's healthy, but only he knows why all of a sudden he's being just vicious, like the Anthony Davis, peak Anthony Davis. And it's made a humongous difference. The Lakers started 2-10. They win in DC tonight. Now, Bradley Beal only played 3 minutes, had a hamstring injury, but I mean, good luck beating any team when a guy scores 55. LeBron had a good night too. And they're 10-12. They started 2-10. They've gone 8-2 since, Bobby. I mean, I don't love to talk about the Lakers, but you got to give them their due.
Yeah, I mean, you could say, hey, look at their schedule. I mean, they've had some soft ones there with San Antonio, but they've beaten teams they're supposed to beat. I mean, it's funny, Brian. I watched, you watched the Friday night game against Milwaukee, and both. I mean, probably one of the better regular season games that we've seen in a long time. And both teams towards the end are, everyone's grabbing at their shorts because they are dead tired here. And
LeBron, I don't know if I've ever seen LeBron that tired, and I've seen LeBron tired.
Well, and that was the thing I said to myself after they won. All right, what is the carryover effect going to be? They didn't play. I mean, Milwaukee had to go to Charlotte the next night, and basically, there was no Holiday, Middleton, or Giannis in that game. And I'm thinking, all right,
they still won.
And still won, yeah. And Lakers are in, they got to play the Wizards on Sunday. So, like, what's the carryover effect going to be? Is there going to be not really a hangover, but from a fatigue standpoint?
Yeah.
And how Anthony played, Sunday night, there wasn't. And you're right. I mean, in that Milwaukee game, I think he had attempted 1-3 until like 3 minutes left in the fourth, where he hit, two back-to-back here. And I'm working on this document for, I think, December 15th, 16th, where we take like, front office questions, what teams have to ask themselves. And we kind of separate players with trade value, who has the value, controllable contracts. And originally, like, I had AD in my, player was with trade value. And I've taken him off that because I'm putting him in that basically off the board category, right? Like, LeBron because of the extension, but there are players there like Jason Tatum that we consider them kind of off the board, untouchable here. And I don't know if if this team was sputtering and they're 4-18, then you're probably thinking, you know what, we might have to, try to split that Davis contract up into something here. But man, they're playing as good as they've played. They've kind of just know their roles, right? Like, your two alphas. We've kind of figured out the Westbrook situation here, and then you're getting
that was a huge getting him to accept that role because he's now become a plus player. I was thinking that he was so bad in the starting lineup and he wasn't going to accept that role. It looked like that for a really long time. I mean, he was, doing whatever when he got sent to the bench, and him becoming a plus player, not just a zero. They got a little healthier for sure. And they've started to shoot the 3-pointer like fine. Like, instead of being historically bad, it's been fine. Some nights are better than others. Lonnie Walker has been better than I thought he would be. So we'll see. I mean, it's the next. They still have a really hard month, but definitely, you win in Milwaukee and Washington. Washington's a playoff team starting the week here. So, I mean, you gotta say that Darvin Ham has done a good job of righting the ship, and AD has been enormous. And I know people are going to start talking about AD for MVP. That's going to be I'm sure tomorrow when I get the rundown for various shows, it's going to be AD MVP is going to be on the rundown. But, he's playing the best basketball in the league right now. So, you got to give him that. He was just player of the week. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it again here tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, MVP. I mean, that's probably for another day and stuff. But the one thing with the Lakers too, when we just mentioned about Westbrook here, I think what's happened is that it takes a little bit more pressure off the front office, where we've always talked about, all right, Westbrook and the 2-1s, right? Westbrook and what can that get you? Where now maybe it's not about Westbrook, maybe it's about Patrick Beverley, maybe it's about Kendrick Nunn. What can $18 million and maybe it's a protected one here? It makes things a little bit more manageable as far as if they want to go out and become buyers here.
Thing I'll say about AD, I was never in favor of trading him. And look, if they had gotten to 4-18 and he was struggling, I would have had maybe a different opinion, but I've never been in favor of trading him. Just like last year, when people were talking about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, I was never in favor of trading them. And it's why, like right now, I say, as frustrating as it is for the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, not that they would trade him, but like they have to stick with him because ultimately the talent is so rare that you have to stick with it. And by the way, if AD goes back into the tank, or if he sprains his ankle this week coming up and misses a month, it's the reason why you stay in it, because the talent level is such that you just have to stay invested. It's like if you believe in a stock, that a couple of bad
Brooklyn.
quarters.
It's like Brian. It's like Brooklyn with Durant. Yeah. I mean, the talent level between for players like Kevin Durant at that level, and there's so much. It's such difference. I mean, I know we're getting off track a little bit, but you watch the Dallas New York game from Saturday afternoon is a great example of that. Like Dallas has Luka, New York doesn't. Right. Like when you have a player like that can elevate everyone else around you and still go out and give you 35 points. I mean, like everybody is starving for one of those players on your roster.
Yeah. And that was the Knicks, by the way, as bad as they looked on Saturday, they came back and beat the Cavs in a good win tonight. But, you mentioned the Nets. The Nets are on this homestand. And, they came in today's game, won 3 games in a row. Like all of a sudden it was like, well, wait a minute, it can change your whole outlook.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.